Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a general reading for both fire sign Sagittarius and for earth sign Capricorn. All right. So we've pulled all of the Sagittarius cards and they're underneath the sound bell. And we'll get into the reading in just a moment. I just wanted to mention a few things first. So first of all, welcome to everyone that is new and welcome to everyone who's been here before and you're coming back. Both are appreciated. All right. So these are going to be general readings. They can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, money, etc. And they are both timeless readings, so they may resonate before or after April 2023 when it's originally intended for. So whenever you see this message, it is meant for you and hopefully you get something from it. All right, so if you don't never force a reading, always feel free to check out your other placements, like what your sun, moon, rising signs are. And if you don't know how to do that, you can always get a free birth chart online. Even if you don't have your exact birth time, you can get everything but your rising sign if you don't have your birth time. All right, so there is info in the description box below here on my channel where you can find out about one of the websites where you can do that for free if you feel guided or haven't done it yet or whatever. Also, if you go in the description box below, this is where after the live is done, I will be uploading a photo, one photo of each reading here. So one photo for the Sagittarius and then one photo for the Capricorn reading as well. In case you want to look at the cards more up close in detail or just have it for later, that is going to be available after the live is done. All right, but yes, everyone is welcome. Everyone has Sagittarius and Capricorn somewhere in their chart. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Sagittarius. I wanted to do a quick little sound bell before we get started, just to ground ourselves, let go of anything we've been holding on to, and also for me to make sure that I'm a clear channel for spirit to deliver these messages to you guys. All right, so if you feel guided, you can take a couple of deep breaths whenever, or you can just listen, but it will be a little bit loud for just a little brief moment in time. All right, so here we go for Sagittarius. All right. Alrighty, Sagittarius. Let's go ahead and see what we have, here for you today. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. All right, so we're going to be talking about this 4-week time period of April. Oh, let me lower this a little bit so you can kind of see the other card a little bit better. There we go. All right, so when we talk about these 4 cards on the top, they may correspond to time. Let me start that again. They may correspond to about a week's time frame or so, but nothing set in stone. It's just a general guideline. Okay, so let's say the dates again when we're on each card, but I'll say them real quickly right now as well. All right, so the first card can be from around April 1st through the 8th. The second card can be from around April 9th through the 15th. The third card can be from around April 16th through the 22nd, and the fourth card can be from around April 23rd through the 30th. All right, so let's see what we have here for you, Sagittarius. Let's go ahead and call out your cards. So we have the Queen of Swords in the right side up position. We have the Ace of Staves, also known as Ace of Wands, in the right side up position. We have the Four of Swords in the reverse position, and we have the Nine of Swords in the right side up position. All right. And then we'll go over the other cards a little bit later where Spirit wants me to talk to you about those cards more in detail. And then, of course, at the very end, we also have some oracle cards as well. All right. Um, so let's see what zodiac frequencies, first of all, may be showing up here for you, Sagittarius. All right. So you've got, as far as the major arcana, you've got some Libra energy here. You really only have one major arcana, which is not necessarily good or bad. We're just, like I said, mentioning it. Okay. So for some of you guys, you could be dealing with a Libra, sun sign Libra, or someone that has a lot of Libra in their chart, or you do, vice versa, etc. It could also be referencing a Libra season of this year, of last year, or even next year. Or it could be referencing something in your birth chart, the other person's birth chart, that needs to be looked at or has some clues or more insight for you where you have Libra, where they have Libra. Or it means nothing at all, but just like to mention it. All right. So let's also look at here what is the majority of your minor arcana to see if we can find another underlying theme to the reading as well here. Okay. So looks like we've got um, two cups cards, three swords cards, two pentacles and a wand, all right, or stave. So it looks like it's the swords. Okay, so the swords in the tarot talk about our mental capacity, our mental health, right, our crown chakra, our logical brain. So is it in a good place, a not so good place? Is it more balanced, right? So that can also just be that underlying theme that we're talking about here. So you can just kind of put it aside as we go through the reading, but I just like to mention it ahead of time. All right, so let's see here, Sagittarius. Now we start off your reading here with the Queen of Swords in the right side up position. And we said this could be from around April 1st through the 8th, okay? But this is a really nice card to start your reading off here with. It can be also picking up a little bit of energy from the recent past since it's your first card, whatever the recent past may be for you, a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. What is time, right? It's all relative. Okay. So with this Queen of Swords energy, we see this Japanese woman, okay, and she's almost like a giant here, and she's standing over this Japanese island and kind of waving down at the normal sized people, right? And so she is known in the tarot for being very clear cut and almost cold, some would say, right? She's the Queen of Swords. So she's the queen of, like we just mentioned, logical mind, crown chakra, mental clarity. She likes to get things done, right? And she doesn't always show her emotions to only a very select few, since she is in that position of power or since she displays a certain amount of confidence here. And again, it's just a woman in the card, but it can be any gender, etc. Right? But she in this deck, the way they depict her is, if you can see it, she's kind of laughing and smiling as she's waving down. So that's kind of a rare way to see the Queen of the Swords, but it's something that's sometimes needed, right? So that can be adding a little bit more of those emotions back in, a little bit more humility or softness that normally the Queen of Swords doesn't always display. Okay. So the other thing I forgot to mention when we started the reading here, Sagittarius, is this reading in total can be about you. It can be about another person or multiple people or even your general environment situation. So always take it how it may resonate for you. All right. But I love that this showed up as your first card and kind of where we're seeing you start your journey for April 2023. All right. So very nice to see here. Now, Sagittarius, if I was to pause the reading for a moment here and look at the most favorable times for you during this month, if there's something that you want to accomplish that's within your control, like if you want to manifest something, start something, travel, whatever it is, right? I would really say that the first 2 weeks are looking like the best time frame to do that. Even the third week isn't, horrible, but I feel that the first 2 weeks is definitely where I would do that. Okay. Again, if it's something within your control. Okay. But let's see what we have here for you, Sagittarius, as far as your second week. So here we have the Ace of Staves, also known as Ace of Wands. And we started off your reading here with air sign energy. I forgot to mention Gemini, Libra, Aquarius with the swords. Now we're going back into fire sign energy like you, Sagittarius, or depending on where you have Sagittarius in your chart. Okay, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Um, but with this Ace of Staves, Ace of Wands energy, which we said could be from around, right, April 9th through the 15th, this is some really creative, beautiful, new beginnings energy here for you, Sagittarius, which is always good to see, in a new month, but just in general, right? Regardless of the time frame. Okay, so this is when this card shows up for anybody, if it's for a particular person, you yourself, another person, multiple people, or just the energy in general. It is really like conducive to also, sharpening your natural innate gifts and talents here. Okay. So if we go back to your first week too, if you weren't already in a leadership role or have a certain amount of confidence, it's like you go from that confidence, possibly leadership role, to then having this boost in your innate talents and gifts here and like that creative fire energy. Okay, so also when we talk about health, when we're talking about staves or wands, it could be that your health is better, or just in a really great place also in the second week of April. So that's, always nice to see, right? But this could also be that with that Queen of Swords, there could have been some leveling up in some area of your life or multiple areas of your life, like a job promotion or at the next stage in a relationship, or getting more money or more health, better health, all those things, whatever it is. Okay, so that energy is also there. I forgot to mention that before. But it looks like they kind of are supporting each other and they go hand in hand with this really nice for momentum and progress energy here for you, Sagittarius. All right. So, yay on that. I can't remember what your last reading had, but side note, I am a sun sign Sagittarius. So, I always like to be like, oh, that looks cool, right? Those 2 weeks look good. All right, good to know, all those things. But I always check my sun, moon, and rising to kind of see, depending on what's going on in my life, I may resonate more with my moon sign or my rising sign or my sun sign, or I just look at all of them and kind of try to find out what makes sense for me. All right. But let's keep going here, Sagittarius, and see what else we have for you. So now we get to your third week and we have a really great reversal. All right. So we have the Four of Swords, another swords card, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. And it's in the reverse position, which is how you want to see this card. Now, we said this could be from around April 16th through the 22nd, but again, nothing is exact. Okay. But here we see somebody or some energy starting to let go of some anxiety, worry, overthinking here. It could also be not just that because of the card that follows, it's more like unearthing where there is Sagittarius anxiety, worry, overthinking. And we all have it regardless of what's going on in our life. From time to time, we're going to have that. That's just part of being human. Okay. And I say an unearthing is because if this card was right side up, we see this Japanese woman is burying the anxiety, worry, overthinking. Okay. She doesn't want anyone to see, she doesn't want to look at it herself. But here, okay, this is how you want to see this card. It's not hiding it to herself and or to others. Okay, she wants to unearth it and obviously eventually let these things go or put them more in balance. Okay. Um, so it feels more like that it's not necessarily letting go of it yet, because again, of the card that comes after that we're going to talk about in just a second, it feels more like the unearthing part here, Sagittarius. So you could find in that third week of April that you yourself, someone else, multiple people, general environment situation, is trying to not hide those things anymore, okay, and pull them out of the closet, as they say, right? So this kind of leads naturally into where you have Sagittarius, a little bit of an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, a challenge, as I like to call it, in that fourth week of April when we get to around April 23rd through the 30th or so. Okay. So now we have the Nine of Swords in the right side up position. So somebody in the third week, again, is unearthing where they have anxiety, worry, overthinking, or where they've been too much up in their head. Okay. And then here we see it come out. Okay. So a lot of people, if you're familiar with tarot, you might say, oh man, I hate the Nine of Swords when it shows up in the reading, right? Because that's a more anxiety, worry, overthinking. But the good thing about it, right, is that it's a nine. In tarot, 10 is the highest number. So it's almost at the end here. Okay, so that's another way to look at it. But it's eventually wanting to heal those things and again get them in like the proper balance. Okay, since they've been unearthed over here in the third week, and now they can be really identified and looked at in that fourth week towards the end of April. All right, so this can talk about sleepless nights as well. Just again, too much up in the air sign energy, too much up in the head. Remember how I said that the majority of your minor arcana here, Sagittarius, is swords because you had three swords cards. All right. So you also had some earth down here, you've got water, and you've got one fire sign, which is like you, right? So it could be that there's just a little bit of that imbalance where there's still too much air. So the other elements need to come in, right? We need more grounding with earth energy. We need more physical fired up in our bodies, fire sign energy. We need more emotion, water sign energy. Okay, so that's another way to look at it. But this is actually where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about all the rest of your cards, all underneath this Nine of Swords fourth week energy. All right, so let's look at what we have here. Okay, all four of these cards underneath are energy from the past, whatever that means for you or them or etc. Right? So we start off with the Ten of Cups in the reverse position and the King of Cups in the right side up position. And these are the sponsor cards that made it possible for this guide to come out. Okay. So when we talk about Ten of Cups in the reverse position, it looks like here, Sagittarius, there could have been something that was really emotionally upsetting or dissatisfying in the past in some way. Okay. And it could have really affected your idea of what success is, or another person's idea of what success is, or just in general here with the Ten of Cups in the reverse position. So that could have also, definitely not been a super fun time and was painful, right? Emotionally painful in some way. But here on the other side, despite of that, we have the King of Cups in the right side up position. So they're both water sign energies, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, right? But the King of Cups is in the right side up position, which was on the bottom of your deck. So it's almost acting like a catalyst, okay? And because I said that I'm a sun sign Sagittarius, and a lot of my good friends are Sagittariuses, I think I saw a meme online recently that was like, if we go through hard times, like as far as relationships go, right? Platonic, romantic, etc. If it's not going well, then we're going to channel it into, I think it said being a CEO or getting our PhD or whatever it was, right? And so I kind of feel that even though this is a cups card over here, and it's now saying that there's going to be better emotions, on the horizon if we work towards those things, okay, with the King of Cups energy. In this deck, they call him the Prince of the Chariot of the Waters, okay, and he's definitely in his chariot. There's a bunch of birds above him, below him, there's some snakes, right? And so you definitely talk about Scorpio energy with the eagles. That's the symbol for and the snake symbol for Scorpio. But it is, regardless of the signs and all that, it's more just stepping into emotional fulfillment and power. That if there was something in the past for Sagittarius that was emotionally upsetting or dissatisfied, that you are kind of going to step up into the role of making sure that your cup is fulfilled for you first, and maybe set some better boundaries, right? That's another way that you can look at cups cards, because we drink water out of cups, right? We're 90% water in our body. So how can I, or how did I in the past start to want to figure out what makes me emotionally fulfilled and satisfied and all those things, what fulfills my cup? Okay. So again, these are just kind of telling us why this Nine of Swords is showing up here in the present current possibilities, energy towards the end of the month. All right. But let's look underneath. Again, we have the other two cards, the top and the bottom from the other deck here, to give us even more insight about why that Nine of Swords is showing up here. All right. So again, this is past energy sponsor cards, right? So we've got the Four of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, Earth sign energy, Four of Pentacles. And then on the bottom of your deck, we have the Three of Sacred Circles, or also known as Three of Pentacles, okay, in the reverse position. So it looks like here, Sagittarius, there could have been some type of controlling energy or actions that you took or someone else took, that kind of backfired. It could have been, also when we talk about pentacles, or sacred circles in this deck, we could be talking about finances and money, or just being valued, or values in general. So it could be that in the past year, Sagittarius, somebody didn't feel valued enough, and they thought that the more that they operated from a place of fear or lack as far as their finances, or their just value in their own person and of others, that would make things better. But it did not, right? This guy, this Native American man, is smoking the peace pipe, but there's nobody with him. It's called the peace pipe because you're supposed to sit down with others and find common ground, right? And share. But there's no one around because of that controlling energy, or that energy that there's never enough money, there's never enough value. Okay. So this energy kind of backfired, and created also the Three of Sacred Circles in the reverse position in the past here, Sagittarius. So this could be saying as well, in addition to all the stuff we already talked about with the other two cards in the past, is that somebody could have, you know, what's the way to say it? They distance themselves from others, thinking it would help them focus better on their finances and their money and their values, but it actually backfired and made them feel more isolated, and made them feel more anxiety, worry, overthinking, just being up late at night, thinking way too much. Okay. Now it could be that in the past as well here, Sagittarius, there was this energy of somebody not wanting to look at something from a larger perspective and a long-term perspective, with the Three of Pentacles, Three of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. Okay. Now it could be that this energy in the past was somebody or something didn't know how to save their money, didn't know how to build on their value for the long term, didn't know how to look at money or their value, from a larger perspective. And so that, is basically telling us why this Nine of Swords in the right side up position is here. Okay. So let's see what else we have here for you, Sagittarius. But your first 2 weeks were really nice for momentum, progress, energy. And your third week wasn't necessarily bad either. It was about unearthing what was underneath all of this, and that's when that Nine of Swords showed up in the right side up position. But again, it's Nine of Swords is almost close to 10. Hopefully, that will be over soon, right? But it will ultimately, make things easier for you here, Sagittarius, or for the other person, general environment situation. So you can get back on track and get forward momentum and progress. So let's see what we have as far as your tarot confirmation card that's over here as well. So this little card's going to come in and confirm all 4 cards at the top that we just talked about. All right. And this is an energy of past and future. Okay. So it's both. All right. So it's always kind of giving us a choice or something to think about, right? So what we have here for you, Sagittarius, is that Libra energy that I mentioned in the beginning of the reading. We have the official card for Libra, Justice in the reverse position. Okay, so when this comes in here, Sagittarius, it's really saying that what we already kind of talked about, right? Is something is out of balance, something isn't justified or justifiable. There is a lack of truth, right? So, it definitely wants to come out, right? The Four of Swords unearthing all these things, then balance is going to eventually be restored, right? So it's about finding balance within the elements, right? Again, fire, water, earth, and air. Okay, right? So with all this air energy in your reading, there needs to be more earth, more fire, more water, right, to balance things out. Now, in this deck, they do call this card, Justice card, the daughter of the Lord of Truth, right? So I did say truth already, right? So the truth does want to come out. And we want to be able to understand other people's actions or even our own actions, right? So why did I do this? Why did they do that, right? That would be the actions justified if it was in the right side up position. So it's not saying that you won't ever get that understanding or they won't, but first these other things kind of need to be balanced and kind of worked through. Okay. So let's see what your little oracle card says for you as well, Sagittarius. I forgot to pull the page beforehand, so just give me a moment here to find it. Where are we at? Here we go. All right. So you got the lightning card for this time period or even beyond. All right. So let me just turn to that page. Okay, so it's a really beautiful card. We've got the snake, okay, coiling around itself. All right, so snakes definitely talk about rebirth, reshedding, or just shedding in general, letting things go, transformation, rebirth, all those things. But let's see exactly what this little deck wants to say to us here for this time, Sagittarius. So it talks about perfectionism, a facade, and a hesitation. It says the stage of leucosis, I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. This word over here, I think it's the Latin for lightning, is a complex topic in alchemy. On one hand, it represents purification of the materials. On the other hand, it's the phase in which the alchemist may mistake the work as complete. On the surface, everything seems perfect, pristine, well thought through, and quite complete. In actuality, the alchemist has been tricked by their own facade of perfection. Their work has hardly begun. Righteousness and fear are the great errors of lightning. This card arrives to remind us to get our hands dirty. No one is separate from or above anyone else. Rather, every alchemist is a kid in the laboratory, tinkering away with the elements of their life. No more fretting over your next move, fearing how others will perceive you. It's time to crack open, become who you are. The world needs your true colors. Okay, so let me pause that for a second, right? So We were talking about truth, okay? The world needs your true colors, okay? But also when it was talking about ideas of perfection, right? That could have been even just the first 2 weeks of April because it was really nice energy. But then we said, oh, we've got to unearth some stuff. Everybody does, right? So that's why I was saying everybody has to get dirty sometimes, right? Sagittarius, and unearth things that need to be ultimately healed and put more in balance, okay? But let's see what else. There's like a couple more sentences here. It says, the blank canvas is a great example of the lightning card. It's terrifying to start for fear of making a mistake. Today is the day, make a mark and begin the work. All right. Also says here, um, lightning is related to the alchemy operation of Cal and Atico. Okay, I don't know how to say it. It's another Latin word. So I can look it up in a second, but it says, because I think it's actually in the index here. Well, I know I've seen that word before. C-A-L, yeah, CINATO. Calification. Okay, so something like solidifying, right? Coming together. Okay, so what was it saying about that? It says, if these cards be to solidify, applying, kind of build up. Oh, okay. So it was basically doesn't apply to us because it's talking about if that other card showed up, then it would mean this other thing. But we only pull one oracle card, so that doesn't necessarily apply to us. Oh wait, shit! I forgot to the book or music or piece of artwork that they always suggest. So let's see, whatever. 109. All right, so it says to go deeper to the energy of the lightning card, right? It says look at the Brancusi sculpture called Newborn, and it's from the year 1915. And the last thing it says is to think about or ponder the wisdom of dawn. All right. But yeah, I really still feel like because it has this snake on the front of the card here, Sagittarius, that once things are brought to light, like we already mentioned, and unearthed and dealt with to try to strive for some type of better balance, right? That then there can be this transformation, the shedding of skin, and some type of rebirth, okay? Because you also had that rebirth energy, endings, new beginnings in the second week. So, possibly another one or even a bigger one or one that connects to that second week of April could be coming in May, right? So yeah, but that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. And thank you so much for your views, for your energy, for your likes, for your shares and subscriptions. They're all great free ways to support the channel. So if you feel guided, you can do those things if you haven't already. But yeah, let's go ahead now. We're almost at 33 minutes. Let's go ahead and switch over the energy to Capricorn. All right. And do some shuffling of the cards and all that good stuff. Clean the energy. All right. See what Capricorn has for us as well. Okay, so we're going to charge the cards with some crystals as well. Get all that stuff going here. So I will be providing timestamps after the live is done to, basically some people may just want to watch the Capricorn or may just want to watch the Sagittarius, what have you. So I'll definitely be popping those in the description box below after the live is done. And I also usually try to put it in the comments under the video too. So yes. All right. So this is not shuffling yet. We're just kind of how do you say, throwing the cards in there, you know, so they're turned around and can't see what they are. All right. Okay, get up in there. Oops, that was that. Okay, let's see. Where did my little bit of music go here? Okay, just for the animals and stuff. All right. Let's see here. So, yeah, I think this is a perfect time, Capricorn, for us to do the sound bell, okay? Because sound vibrations help clear the card's energy as well. I'll also pass them over this little candle, right? To just, yeah, clear that energy. All right. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before. If you want to take a couple of deep breaths, or if you just feel guided to listen, we're going to let go of the Sagittarius energy and welcome in the Capricorn energy, and let go of anything in our body that we've been holding on to. You can feel free to do that as well. But yeah, it'll just be for a little bit. Sometimes it gets a little loud, but you know, it's not forever. All right. So here we go for Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. Let's now do some shuffling for you. Oh, actually, before the shuffle, let's do the passing through over the candle. Almost forgot. All right. Need to bring my incense. I had a little bit going earlier when I cleared the cards for Sagittarius, but I should have brought another stick with me. But the flame works as well, right? Okay. Okay, I'll put this over here. Okay. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Capricorn, the goat, for April 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Spirits guide my hands. Messages for April for Capricorn. For their own highest vibrational good. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Spirits guide my hands. Unloving lights, respect and reverence before, during, and after. Thank you for all wisdom, advice, guidance given, and thank you, of course, for listening. Messages for Capricorn for April 2023. Oh, my ring's coming off there. Okay. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Capricorn for April 2023. The goats. What do they need to see? 4 cards only, please. Spirits, messages for Capricorn. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest vibration? Messages for Earth sign Capricorn, the goat, for April 2023. Messages for Capricorn. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Capricorn. Oh, shoot. I don't know which one I took first. Well, we'll confirm with Spirit because I didn't mean to draw a 5, but It happened. All right, before we do anything, we're also going to take the top and the bottom of the deck, and then we can move this over here and move to the next one here. All right, spirits guide my hands, messages for Earth sign Capricorn, the goat, for April 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Spirits guiding my hands, messages for the highest vibration of Capricorn for April 2023. Spirits guide my hands. One card only, please. Spirits for Earth sign Capricorn, the goat, for April 2023. That one. All right. Do the same thing. We're going to take the top and bottom. And then we'll do this one. Okay, these are a little harder to shuffle because they're shape. Okay. Spirits guide my hands, messages for Capricorn for April 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? One card only, please, spirits. Messages for Earth sign. All right, that was fast. Okay. So we will confirm with them. Turn this down. We'll confirm with them that they want these cards and what positions. So we'll do that real quickly as well. Okay. Let's see. Spirits, did you want this antimony oracle card for this Capricorn April reading? Yes. All right. Thank you. And Spirits, did you want the Ace of Swords in the reverse position to represent the first tarot card for this Capricorn April reading? Thank you. Spirits in love and light, respect and reverence, advance before, during, and after. Spirits, did you want the Queen of Sacred Circles in the reverse position to represent the second tarot card for this Capricorn April reading? No. Oh, okay. Let's double check. Spirits, did you want the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position to represent the second tarot card for this Capricorn April reading? Okay, thank you. That one's right side up, so I'm going to leave it. Let's just move them down. Spirits, did you want the Ace of Staves in the reverse position to represent the fourth tarot card for this Capricorn April reading? Yes, okay. And Spirits, did you want a fifth additional card for Capricorn, the Tower in the right side up position, to be included in this Capricorn April reading? All right, so they want it. All right, we will do it. We'll try to make time for it. Okay, so let's just move everything over a little. It's running out of space. Okay, that one's right side up, so I'll just leave that there. And then we need to do these. Okay, so Spirits, thank you for listening. Did you want the Nine of Wands in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Hermetic Tarot deck for this Capricorn April reading? Thank you. All right. And Spirits, did you want the Hermit in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Ancestral Path Tarot deck for this Capricorn April reading? Thank you. And Spirits, did you want the Ten of Cups in the reverse position to represent what's on the bottom of this Ancestral Path Tarot deck for this Capricorn April reading? Okay. So now we need to figure out where they want these guys. Well, since they're already over here, let's start with the first one, and if not, we'll go that way. Okay, Spirits, did you want me to talk about the Hermit in the reverse position and the Ten of Cups in the reverse position when I talk about the Ace of Swords in the reverse position? Okay, so they said yeah, so all right, that stays there. Now maybe these go over here. Let's find out. Okay. Spirits, did you want me to talk about the Nine of Wands in the reverse position and the Magician in the right side up position? Want to talk about the Ace of Staves in the reverse position? They're saying yes and no. Okay. Spirits, did you rather me talk about the Nine of Wands in the reverse position and the Magician in the right side up position when I talk about the Tower in the reverse position? The Tower in the right side up position. Yes. Okay, so they want them there. So, all right, we got it. All right, so now let me just Again, trying to move things down a little bit so we can take that quick picture and then we'll get started. Come on. My table is like a little uneven. Okay, so just put this here so when we take the picture, we know who it's for. All right. All right, so it's in focus. Good to know. Turn the music back up. And yeah, let's see what time we're at now. So we're about 44 and a half minutes. So I'll make a mental note when I put the timestamps in later. Okay, Capricorn, let's see. We got some juicy stuff coming up here. Okay, so looks like, well, let's start off first by saying for the new people or haven't been back in a while, that we're going to talk about the four, or actually this time five cards at the top first. Okay, and that can each card at the top can correspond to a week's time frame or so. So we'll say the dates in a little bit. And then, of course, we'll talk about the other cards where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about them. All right. And then at the end, we have the Oracle card as well. Okay, so let's first talk about those dates, possibly as a general guideline. So the first card can be from around April 1st through the 8th. The second card can be from around April 9th through the 15th. The third card can be from around April 16th through the 22nd. The fourth card can be from around April 23rd through the 30th. And since we have an extra card, we could say that that's maybe the first week of May. Again, it's a general guideline. So just take it how it may resonate. All right. But yeah, let's see what we have here, Capricorn. Let's go ahead and call out your cards on the top. So you've got the the Ace of Swords. I can't say swords today. We got the Ace of Swords in the reverse position here. We've got the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. We've got the King of Cups in the right side up position. We've got the Ace of Staves in the reverse position. And then we have the Tower in the right side up position. So Capricorn, I want to count. You've definitely got, I mean, we've got the Tower at the end of the reading, but you've got a lot of major arcanas here. So they can talk about a lot of change coming up. Okay. So you've got one in the current, present, possibilities, probabilities section. Okay. The Tower towards the end of the month, the beginning of May. You also have another major arcana, two of them in the past position. Okay, so technically some of the change has, of course, started from somebody's past or some things past if it's not necessarily a person. Okay, but we've got with the Tower, it shows up as far as the zodiac frequencies as four different or not, I'm sorry, it's not four. I was thinking of the Wheel of Fortune for some reason. That's weird. Okay, well, there you go. Maybe he'll tell me something later. But the Tower, let's just say it's Scorpio energy. It's not their official card. But we do have the official card for Virgo in the past over here. And then we have the Magician card, so that could be Gemini, Sagittarius. So what does this mean? For some people, you could be dealing with a Scorpio or Virgo, a Gemini, a Sagittarius, or you have a lot of that in your chart, or the other person does, or could even be referencing Virgo season of this year, of last year, of next year. Same thing for Gemini, Sagittarius, or Scorpio. Or it means nothing at all, but I just like to do it in the beginning. All right. So now let's see here. I'm about to call you Scorpio. No, Capricorn. It's Capricorn. Capricorn, let's see what your minor arcana is here to also get an underlying theme maybe to your reading. So we have two cups, one sword, one pentacle, two wands, no, three wands. Wait, is that right? Yeah, three wands. Okay. So I thought it was going to be a tie, but it's actually the wands. Okay. So what does that mean? Also known as the staves in the tarot. So the wands or the staves talk about our physical body, what gets us fired up. So it does talk about fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but what gets us passionate and creative. And it can also be what gets us fired up in our physical body could also be health stuff, right? So, excuse me, there could be something going on with health here. Excuse me, I'm gonna get some water for somebody. Or if it's not a person, it could also be just the general environment situation. There's some underlying themes of health, okay, for some people, but not everybody. But let's go ahead and just go through the reading step by step here, and break it down. All right. So I will say those dates again when we're on each card that I mentioned before. All right, so Capricorn, we're starting off your reading that first week of April, which we said could be from around, right? April 1st through the 8th. We start off with the Ace of Swords in the reverse position. Now, this is a little bit of an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, as I like to say. This could have been trickling in from the recent past, since, and in particular, since it's the first card. So, Capricorn, there is this mental confusion showing up, okay, in that first week of April for some, okay? It could also be, in addition to the mental confusion, it could be that some type of ending, new beginning that was supposed to take place or was about to take place doesn't, okay? Because it's in the reverse position. Um, but it could also be that somebody's mental defenses are up in some way, okay, along with the mental confusion. Because the swords in the tarot, just like the wands, is they can be used as a tool or a weapon. So if it was right side up, it would be more of a tool clearing things out of your path. But because it's reversed, it can be a little bit of this. More of a weapon kind of energy, more of a mental weapon, if that makes sense. Okay. Not for everybody, but somebody could be um, using some type of knowledge to want to, I don't know if they necessarily want to hurt somebody, but yeah, there's something about mental weapon here. Okay. So take it if it resonates for you. If not, that's okay. But let's see what's underneath the card, right? To get even more insight. And let me pull these over so you can kind of see them a little bit better. Pull everything down, right? We had that extra card for you, so it's like just yeah. All right. So what we have underneath here, Capricorn, is the Hermit in the reverse position, okay, and that Ten of Cups in the reverse position. This is giving us more insight about the Ace of Swords in the reverse position. So it looks like here in the past, in some way, Capricorn, somebody or some energy perhaps wasn't trusting their own intuition with that Hermit in the reverse position. They weren't trusting their gut reaction to something, or they just straight up weren't listening at all, right? And that happens to everybody from time to time, right? But it is also both of these cards together, would kind of say here, Capricorn, that somebody or some energy was not wanting to go deep. Okay, with the Ten of Cups in the reverse position, Cups cards talk about our emotions. So somebody doesn't want to go deep into their emotions here, or there was something emotionally dissatisfying or um, um, depressive, even. I don't know why I said that because I don't always say that, but it's there, right? I think Sagittarius just had Ten of Cups in the reverse position in a different place. So, if you are, let's say, a sun sign Capricorn, you're going to have a lot of stuff in your individual birth chart with Sagittarius and also with Aquarius. It's always the sign ahead of you and the sign after you. So, if you feel guided, right, always check out those other signs as well. But yeah, it just looks like somebody doesn't want to go deep here in the past, or somebody wasn't listening into their intuition, and so that led to um, more emotional confusion, and then in the present current possibilities led to mental confusion. Okay, and it all stems from the Hermit Virgo energy in that reverse position. I like to always think of the hermit almost like the high priestess in the tarot. So he would normally be going off on the edge of the cliff, away from distractions, okay, to hear his intuition, to hear his inner guidance system, his gut reactions to things. Um, and he's depicted as an old man, sometimes as an old woman, right? But they're usually trying to use their life knowledge and their wisdom to help themselves. So again, when it's in that reverse position, it's like someone's too distracted, or yeah, just not getting the messages, or they don't want to get the messages. Okay, it will be different for everybody, of course, since it is a general reading for multiple people. Um, but whatever this is, Capricorn, in the first week with the Ace of Swords in the reverse position, it doesn't last too long, okay? Because then by the time we get to your second week here, we've got the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. And we said this could be from around April 9th through the 15th or so. And now we have Earth sign energy, just like you, Capricorn, or depending on where you have Capricorn in your chart. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, right? So this is one of the more like nurturing queens of the tarot, let's say, and she's also known as Queen of Pentacles, right? So here we see this kind of grandmother, Native American woman here, and a baby. We see the full moon in the background. This is combination energy. She's also older, right? So combination energy as far as yeah, just being a metaphor for something being at its highest power. Okay, now when we're talking about queens, we're talking about confidence, or somebody in a position of authority, perhaps. Okay, or leveling up in one area of their life or multiple areas of their life. Now, because she is the Queen of Sacred Circles or Queen of Pentacles, it can reference. In a good status with our finances or our money, or it could also be with our values, our value systems. Am I being valued enough? Is the other person? Vice versa. Well, when the Queen of Sacred Circles or Queen of Pentacles shows up, yes, somebody is being valued. And we can see the grandmother spirit, she values and loves and appreciates her grandchildren, right? If it is her grandchild. Okay, so this is really nice energy here, Capricorn, in the second week here for you for April. If I was to pause your whole reading here, and if there was something within your control that you wanted to accomplish, like setting some goals, manifestations, whatever it is, or even traveling, I would say that the second and the third week is the best time to do that. Okay. It's not like the other ones are horrible, but this is going to be when it's better. Okay. So again, if it's within your control, do it in the second and third week of April. All right. So with that being said, let's see what we have for your third card. All right. We've got now another royal. We've got the King of Cups in the right side up position. And we said this could be from around April 16th through the 22nd. But we've got a king and queen, two royals. They're not the same minor arcana, but they're there and they're side by side. Okay. So this is really nice. Again, some leveling up, or definitely multiple areas leveling up here for you could be Capricorn, because they're back to back. Okay. So not only are we talking about money and finances and values over here, now we're talking about something emotionally satisfying and fulfilling with the King of Cups. All right. He knows what fulfills him. He knows his emotional priorities, what makes him happy, etc. And so he's very confident as well. He's got his throne and his kingdom behind him. He's taking note, right? He's got a notebook here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So he's just like the queen is very like strategic in how they're going to be in this position of authority, or how they're going to be a good leader, or how they're going to just be more confident in themselves if it's not necessarily a leadership role. Okay. So when we talk about leveling up, it can be, as example, leveling up in a career with a promotion. It could be leveling up in a relationship with the next stage. It could be leveling up with whatever, just fill in the blank, right? With hobbies, with side hustles, with better health. I already said money. Yeah, It could be one of those areas or multiples, right? Because again, you got those two royals kind of back to back here. So yeah, looking very nice, Capricorn, in the second and third week here. But let's keep going and see what else we got. All right. So now, Capricorn, oops, when we come to your fourth week, we have another bit of a little bit of energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, or slow down of energy, as we like to say, with the Ace of Staves or Ace of Wands in that reverse position. And let me turn this commercial down. I don't want to hear that. All right. So this can be, happening, we said, around possibly April 23rd through the 30th. So towards the end of the month here, Capricorn. It could be something related to health since it is in the reverse position and it's a stave or a wand, but it doesn't have to be. It could also just be that you come off of this high point, right, in the second and third week, and maybe something here um, says, okay, enough like leveling up, right? Because that's a lot of leveling up in a short amount of time, perhaps, or a lot of like boosting of confidence, or a lot of getting more money, being happy emotionally, right? I mean, yes, we always want those things to continue for as long as possible or forever, right? But that's not the way life always goes, right? So you can't appreciate the highs if you don't have maybe a low at some point, okay? So it could be that this Ace of Wands is in the reverse position, Ace of Staves, because some type of ending, new beginning is quite not ready to happen yet. It could also be when we talk about confidence, right? That maybe when this card shows up, you or the other person, multiple people, general environment situation, is not as confident in their innate talents and gifts. Okay, with that ace in the reverse position. But like I said, it can be a lots of things, but it's just a slowdown of energy. It could be, even though it doesn't necessarily feel super nice, it could be what the universe, your spirit guides, guardian angels, whatever you want to call it, needs you to slow down for a reason at this point. Okay. So let's keep going, Capricorn, right? How I said in the beginning of the reading that your reading was juicy, right? Because you had a lot of majors showing up here. You had this extra card, and just the way that your energy felt like when I was shuffling too. It just felt not necessarily good or bad. It just felt like a lot, right? Or like more intense, I guess. But you definitely have good and bad here. Okay. So now when we come to that fifth card, the extra card that showed up here for you, which it could be the first week of May, who knows, right? These are just general guidelines as far as the timing. But we've got the tower in the right side up position. So this actually, I love this card when I get it for myself or when I get it in a reading for somebody, because even though it looks scary and it talks about lots of change and surprising, sudden, shocking change, hopefully it's change for the better, right? But this card talks about enlightenment, spiritual download, somebody wanting to finally understand something, because the lightning is hitting the top of the crown chakra and it's breaking down this building from the top to the bottom. So then what's going to happen when this whole building catches on fire? Then we have to build back up from the foundation. Okay. So that's a good point of the tower, because then that means you can start again and maybe have a better foundation with someone or within something. Okay. Um, so I like to see this card, but the shocking and surprising part is not necessarily as fun, because it could feel like for some of you guys that it comes out of nowhere. But it's like when the tower card shows up, it's the universe, spirit guides, guardian angels being like, you didn't want that change, or the other person didn't want that change, etc. We're bringing it in. Cleo, no. We're bringing it in whether you like it or not. Cleo, shh, shh, shh. Okay, that's what the tower talks about. It's like, yep, it's gonna happen. Like the universe is saying, you weren't. I feel Capricorn here though, because the card that's before it, I feel like you possibly, maybe it won't be as shocking or surprising to you, because you had in that fourth week the ace of staves in the reverse position, that slowdown of energy, of somebody's confidence maybe being affected a little bit, or somebody's health a little bit, or just that slowdown of energy, that maybe it won't be as shocking. Okay, I mean, who's to say, right? It's a general reading for multiple people, but let's look what's underneath here to get even more insight about why this Tower card wanted to pop out towards the end of your reading. Okay, so what we have is energy underneath is energy from the past. It could be a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. But what we've got is the Nine of Wands in the reverse position, and then we have the Magician in the right side up position, which was on the bottom of your deck. Okay, so it looks like here in the past, Capricorn, there could have been um, some type of feeling of lack of abundance as far as money and resources and funds with the Nine of Wands in the reverse position. It could also be that somebody's health was affected not in the best way in the past in some way here. Um, Not necessarily for everybody, right? But it could also just be this general sense that in the past there was a lack of focus or skill or determination, a lack of resources, but also not just financial resources, but also like supportive energy in the past. Okay. But despite that, okay, or because of that, then somebody or some energy stepped in here and was like, wait a minute, I'm the magician. I'm the man. I'm the woman. I'm the whatever, right? I'm going to come in here and manifest my reality. Okay. I'm the master of my universe. Okay. They call in this deck the Megas of power, right? So the master of power or whatever. I don't know exactly what Megas means, but that's kind of the general idea. Um, and so, or the magic of power, I can't remember. Anyway, so he's manifesting. He has all the tools that he needs underneath his feet, right? So even if he's not feeling in the past, or you were feeling in the past here, Capricorn, that there wasn't enough supportive energy around you, you could have been like, well, I'm going to do it myself. Or the other person, or the general environment situation is like, I'm going to do it myself. Because if I was a magician or a manifester in a past life, then I can do it again in this current life. Okay. Um, Now, the magician also talks about confidence, right? So he's confident he can manifest or make these magical things happen. So when we put this again together with the tower, it could be Capricorn that, you know, this is breaking down here, this change, um, this enlightenment, this spiritual download coming through, finally the universe forcing you or forcing someone else or the environment to change the way they look at something, change the way that something is, what is built upon, or how it's built upwards, right? Because there needs to be um, more of a focus, right? The Nine of Wands and a lot of decks would have a falcon in it. Okay. And so the falcon represents that skill, determination, and focus, but it's in reverse. So perhaps something needed to break down because it wasn't built right. Okay. Maybe this building, is not up to code, as they say. Or maybe this building is like not up to earthquake code or whatever. Okay. Again, just a metaphor, little joke, right? So, it needs to be fixed before something drastic happens, but that thing has already happened. So then that gives you an opportunity to rebuild something, or remember that you are the manifestor, the magician, right? That to remember that even if, let's say, that unsupportive energy in the past, the lack of abundance or funds or people, that the universe wants to provide, that the spirit guides, ancestors, guardian angels, they want to provide too, right? So it's not necessarily that he's doing this all on his own because he's working with energy, he's working with magic, right? So he knows at some level, or you knew, or someone knew in the past here, Capricorn, on some level, that they weren't alone. Okay. So I kind of feel like that message could be coming up again for you, that you're not alone. Okay. But let's keep going and see what else we got here for you, Capricorn. So now we're talking about your tarot confirmation card here that's going to come in and confirm all five cards that we just talked about. So all of April and possibly first week of May. We've got the Four of Wands in the right side up position. Now, this card is a combination of past and future energy. Okay, so when the Four of Wands shows up, it's about, you know, building um, something, working on prosperity, respect, um, finding a solution to something. It's about, what do they call it in this deck? The Lord of Perfect Work. Okay, that's interesting. So it's really, this card has a lot of symmetry in it. If you can see, like there's the two fire sign energies, so the two Aries rams on one on each side, and then there's the two. I don't know if it's a swan or what that is. We'll just say it's a bird. Okay, so lots of symmetry. And of course, four, right, being two and two on each side. Um, it's about, building something. I'm trying to think of the way to say it. Um, I have it like right there in my head and I can't think of the way to say it. It's about coming together with some type of union. Okay, because the Four of Wands is can be a union card. So if we're talking about past and future energy, that if somebody remembers again that they are the magician in the past and they can be it again in the future, create the new reality, rebuild the thing that broke down, rebuild it, that there can be some kind of union, right? So maybe these two swans are in love. Maybe the two rams are family members, right? So when we talk about unions, it doesn't have to just be romantic. It can be platonic. It can be with friends and family. Or it could even be different parts of yourself coming together. But there's also this vulnerability that you would sometimes see with the Four of Wands in other decks, right? The way that they draw the pictures. So if we look at the past, at the beginning of your reading, somebody didn't want to go deep. Remember, somebody didn't want to trust their intuition, or they didn't trust their intuition, and then something possibly happened that was, you know, um, not as fun or emotionally satisfying or fulfilling in the past. So if you look at this past at the beginning of the reading, and then this possible past future at the end of the reading, perhaps now somebody wants to go deep. Somebody wants to get vulnerable in some way or another to have a more perfect union, whatever that union is. Okay, so this is a really nice and happy card. And yeah, I like this energy here for you, Capricorn. So if you're in the tower moment when you get there, just remember that there's after it a Four of Wands, or there could be, because it's past and future. So it's always giving you the choice. So it could be. Okay. So keep that in mind. All right. So with that being said, let's not find, excuse me. Well, yeah, we're finding the page to your oracle card here real quickly. So let's see. Oh, here we go. That one I could find fine. I don't like the index of this book. That's the only thing I would say about this deck I don't like. It's very chaotic and the font is like super small. Okay. So the card that you got for this time period or even beyond, Capricorn, is the antimony. I don't know. I think that's how you say that. Looks like there's a wolf, shape of a wolf outline. All right. And then we've got some space and some stars and planets in the background. But let's see exactly what they have to say about this. All right. So it says here, wildness, fierceness, and hunger. In medieval times, antimony became known as the gray wolf of alchemy. This was due to, I don't know how to pronounce this word, Metatoli's unpredictable qualities and its ability to eat away at materials in the laboratory. Okay, it's some type of material. All right. It almost looks like metal and what is that word? Metal. alloys, metal alloys. Oh, that's how you say it. Okay, metal alloys. All right, there we go. It took me a minute. Okay, so anyway, it says that it affected the ability to eat away at the materials in the laboratory. Gold is one of the few materials to withstand contact with it. For these reasons, this card must be read with delicacy. On one hand, it represents the wild and free spirit that longs to express itself in the world. On the other hand, it represents a fierceness that can turn destructive or corrosive at the drop of a hat. The message here is clear. Channel the gray wolf's energy towards creativity. Challenge it to come out from the shadows and express itself. Embark on a creative project or adventure that's calling you, rather than focusing on why you can't. Once you begin, don't quit. The gray wolf's responds to respect, not repression. Okay. That's beautiful. Let's see what else it says here real quickly. It says, like many of the alchemy cards, the gray wolf can most easily be felt through the laboratory of the human body. Dance, run, shake, and breathe. Okay. Um, yeah, remember I was saying the wands, right, are the physical body, and you had lots of wands in the reading. You could put it with the Ace of Staves in the reverse position, that slowdown of energy or a little bit of health issue popping up, right? You could also, of course, put it with the creativity, the passion, the vulnerability that wants to be expressed in a union or multiple unions, okay? Could be physical body stuff, right? But yeah, let's see what else here. Real quickly, we're almost done. It says, another interpretation of this material is that something is eating away or wearing away at the situation or a person. Let this possibility open to deeper revelation. Okay. So that part of it, I would definitely put with the tower, right? Something's being eating away at someone, or what else did it say? Wearing away, breaking down. You could also put it with the stuff from the past, the Hermit in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay. All right, let's see what little artwork, music, energy this deck always tells you or recommends something. So it says, to go deeper into energy of this card, read Women Who Run with Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Women Who Run with the Wolves. All right, in case I mispronounced the name, at least you can get the title. And the last thing it says here to ponder or think about is corrosion as medicine. So I always think of corrosion. I always think of right, something breaking down, right? The tower, of course, all that. But also, me personally, I think of like corrosion in like a car. So like you know how you, or I'm not a mechanic and know any of that stuff, but if you take out like soda, like a Coca-Cola, it's gonna clean away rust. So it's eating the rust in a way, or it's breaking down the rust in a way. But how can you do that as far as medicine for the body or medicine for the soul, the spirit, right? That's gonna be different for everybody. Like, what is your type of medicine that's gonna make you feel better? Or make the situation better in general. Okay, so just something to think about. All right, dear Capricorn, this is your reading, and I hope you got something from it. And always feel free to let me know in the comments down below how this shapes up for you, how you feel about this, or if you just want to say hi or anything. Comments do also help, just like the likes, circulate the video more with others on YouTube. So it's another great free way to support the channel besides liking the video. And when you do comment or like the video in the first couple of days, it shares it more with others as well. And another great great free way to support the channel is to subscribe if you haven't yet. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button down there, and it's free as well. And it just notifies you when I put out new videos. And as long as you have a basic YouTube email account, that's what it does. And the other great free way to support the channel is to share this video on your social media or share it with friends or family directly. But whatever you feel guided to do, and no pressure, of course. Okay. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to take a break here now. Oh, yes. And if you want to see the photo, I will be uploading it in a few minutes. The one photo of all these cards, so you can look at it later if you want. But yeah, other than that, I want to take a break, guys, and then I will be back. Of course, we're almost going through the complete zodiac. So we have Aquarius and Pisces a little later today. All right, guys. See you later. Take care. Bye.